Racing. It's in our blood. From the No Limits of Texas to the high-speed banks at Daytona.
I mean, nobody's going to catch that three-truck of Hal Amy as he takes it.
From the drop of the green flag. To green flag pit stops. It's in our DNA. We live for it. There's 7 nights in a week. And only one night matters to us. The moment to prove that we're the best. Laying down an entire season. Pushing the limits. We're made for it.
Bumper, Artie Peterson out to the lead. Glenn Jamison's pushing hard now. Garrett behind him. Top 5 could throw a blanket over it. Artie's going to drop down to the inside. 10 car's going to start pushing. These guys are getting a little dicey back in 5th and 6th place. Little contact between the 14 and the 70. 63, 3 wide in the front. Artie Peterson stuck out in the middle. Brandon Winning, we got a car down on the apron, 70 car, and now a car up in the wall. We got a wreck behind him. 1 lap to go. Rick Fagone has got the position right now. Garrett Helmlinger and Glenn Jamison neck and neck. We got a push on the inside, push on the 10 car. Rick Fagone looks like he might pull it off neck and neck at the line, and the 10. Oh, the Garrett Helmlinger, I can't believe what I just saw. It looks like Garrett Helmlinger.
Survival of the fittest. 16 chase drivers. 1 championship. Who's got what it takes? As they give the command to start the engines, it's time to find out. WFO is live right now. WFO Twisted Tuesday Truck Series live from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a Christmas break. Hope you had a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Welcome back. What is sure to be an excellent race as we bring you flag-to-flag coverage live on WFO Racing Network. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. Might be joined in with Nation 01 at some point tonight, and I just want to let everybody know ahead of time. Yes, I'm running on limited sleep. My sleep schedule's all jacked up. But we're taking you to grid right now. Pace cars out there on the track. Keaton Tripp running that 30.072. At a track, it's very tough on the brakes. You're going to have a lot of time off the throttle here Starting to his outside tonight will be Vern Bradley with a 30.201. So 0.2 of a second separating your pole sitter from second place. We move on through the field. Chuck Sweeting is going to start in that third position with Austin Wagner in the fourth spot. Go on back a little bit further to that third row, Richard Holland. Make sure we're on the right cars here. We're getting a little too far ahead of ourselves. Yeah, we're going to fix this just right. There we go. There's the right buttons. Richard Holland, Brian Beach in fifth and sixth position. Seventh place is going to be Troy Cook with Rick Fagone to the outside. And then to round out your top 10, John T. Wimbish and Dakota Floyd. Todd Cleveland, Dustin Germain, Hal Amy, Raymond Herdina, Jacob Daniels, Matt Egan, Kyle Stewart, Burt Wilson. And then they are top 20, Johnson New, Christopher Spencer, Glenn Jamison, Michael McCauley, rounding out your field there. Getting ready to go green here at the venue tonight. Let's look at the weather. Track temperature, 112 degrees Fahrenheit. Pace car's taking that hard left turn. And the green flag is out. There's Keaton Tripp hitting the loud pedal. We're live. WFO Twisted Tuesday. All right, so we have a little bit of race chatter there for just a second. A little bit of a weird start for some of these guys. I think they had some issues there right out the gate. Well, let's get that volume cranked up a little bit, huh? There we go. Now we got some volume. Maybe. You guys don't have any audio at all. Okay. So that's on me. There we go. All right, so now we have the proper audio. Keaton Tripp's going to come around and lead lap number 3. Already off to a great start here today. Down here to the bottom of the track, we've got Vern Bradley in a close second position. We'll ride on board with him right now. Shout out to anybody that's out there in chat. Make sure you vote for Driver of the Day. Hashtag your driver's number in the chat. Post-race interviews with the top 3. And that favorite driver. And oh, a little tag with the wall there for the right side of the 114 as he comes out of turn 4. He's pushing that thing pretty hard, but he's keeping pace with Keaton Tripp right now. You notice how these guys are running that outside groove. That's kind of what you want to do here. You get all the way down on the bottom. It gets really tough. We'll go on back here a little ways. Looking for a battle. Todd Cleveland, Burt Wilson. That's a pass on the outside. Very tough to pass here at this place. You got to get up on the outside. You see Matt Egan trapped up there real high, but he can get the exit speed. He might be able to get a run here on the 54. Dustin Germain. This is for the top 10 position. Very tough to see these angles, and we've got a car spinning out back here. Caution is out. 63 car all the way down on the bottom. No yellow. Can't believe it. Let's go ahead and hit the instant replay button to take you guys back and show you what just happened. Instant replay. We're coming off of turn 4 or turn 2, it looks like. Down the backstretch. Car gets into the wall. That's the 21 machine. Raymond Herdina. And unfortunately, Glenn Jamison has nowhere to go there. He's going to bring it down pit road. Unfortunate series of events for him. 63 taking that long pit road. All by his lonesome. 21, Herdina actually didn't get the worst end of that. He does look like he has a little bit of damage, but nothing compared to that 63 car. Back up to the front, though. He's led 7 of them. About to lead 8 of them, it looks like. Keaton Tripp taking it to him right now. Chuck Sweeting in third spot. All by his lonesome. Big gap back here to Brian Beach in the 4th position. We've got a battle here for the 4th spot right now. So right on board with Richard Holland. Holland trying to get to the inside there. It's just not enough run. Can't get that turn off on the inside. It's going to be tough to do. He's got 2 teammates behind him, too. At the 10 of Rick Fagone and the 51 of Troy Cook. Trying to battle for position. John T. Wimbish keeping pace with these guys pretty well. I think he's in a good situation right now. We're just trying to find a good balance of audio here today. I think we found it finally. But yeah, as we ran through this field, we talked about some of the guys that were starting up to the front, and it looks like Keaton Tripp might have made a mistake. Change for the lead here. He might have led 8 of them. I don't know that he led that last one. It was close. We'll bring it up here. Driver long. Nope, he did not get that 8th lap. Vern Bradley made me a liar. He took the lead away. Lap number 8. So here's 2 led for the 114. Oh, and the Keaton Tripp tags the wall on the exit. This is going to be an opportunity for Chuck Sweeting now. This car is getting super tight. Listen to how long these guys are off the throttle just to get through these corners. A very grippy surface here tonight. We talked about the weather, 112, 114 degrees, and now the track tip's already up to 116. It's not doing these tires any favors. You see the race back here still going on. Battle for 4th. We had a swap for the lead. Keaton Tripp's having a struggle now. Not even a 10th of the way into this race, and there's a pass for 4th. Richard Holland able to get around Brian Beach as they come off of turn 4. Now into turn 2. Do we have any other takers? On board with Rick Fagone right now. You just got to be patient. You've seen the mistake that was made by the 26 car. He was up in the front, you know, and that's all it takes sometimes. It's just a little wall touch. You can lose 2 or 3 spots, and these guys being super patient with Brian Beach. They might feel like they're faster than he is, or he might feel like he's faster than they are on these exits, but all it takes is to feel that way for 1 millisecond, and you find yourself in the wall. That could be the difference in the entire race. Let's zoom out a little bit, give you a better angle. Right now, Dakota Floyd sneaks his way up in the top 10. He's holding on for dear life, though. Matt Egan's been trying to take it away now for about 12 laps. Right up on the outside. And some of these guys shifting down there. You hear that downshift by the 24. I know that's a strategy that some of these guys contemplated in practice. I heard some race chatter. Guys weren't sure if it was advantageous to downshift or not. That can it can make or break your race, you know, driving on throttle, using more fuel, those higher RPMs might mix your fuel strategy up. We're watching Hal Amy right now battle Austin Wagner for 14th position, trying to hold on the outside. 28 of Wagner down to the bottom. He just got around John Sanu. He's trying to get around the 3 truck, but Amy able to hold on to it. The 28 gets a little loose on the exit of 2. Now he's going to close the door on him. Settle back down. Amy looked like he had a good run there in the entrance of the corner, but now almost 3 wide off the exit, and the 86 of Sanu sticks his nose in there for a second. Really easy to overshoot these corners. Amy's going to have to be careful. Sanu down to the bottom now to the inside. He's side by side with Wagner. See if the 86 can hold it off the exit. Again, this is a battle for the 15th, 16th position. Wagner up on the outside now. It peeks the 3's door. I know this might look like it's in slow motion. These guys are going super low speed, and that's why you're hearing some of them downshift. But this group of cars from Todd Cleveland back, a little contact there with the 28. Sanu gets into the back of Wagner. Now tags the apron. Patience starting to run thin, I think, with some of these guys. They're trying to get as much of a run as they can. These trucks are very momentum-based, guys, and if you look back at a lot of these races, if you think back to how the low horsepower on these trucks are, you got to downshift to get out of these corners. In some instances, this might be the only way you get a pass off as the 28 of Wagner gets around the 3 of Amy. Now maybe a 2 spot. Amy's going to lose 2 positions in 1 turn. He might have got pinned up on the outside. Wagner now going to work on the back of Burt Wilson. These things almost stalling out. That's crazy how low speed they're coming through these corners. Let's get back up here towards the front. Your leader. He's led 10 of them. Vern Bradley putting it on him here tonight. New Hampshire. He had some off time to practice up. He's putting in the work. And he's got that Mountain Dew Chevrolet up in P1. Driving it like he stole it. Wide fucking open. Back in the second position. Keaton Tripp, your pole sitter. He's got a lot of right side damage. You can see that machine that tagged the wall a couple different times. Had some instances, and it looks like it's a handful here tonight. Going on board with him. Let's see how hard he's pushing this machine. The struggle is real. You're trying to downshift, get as much drive off as you can, but you can see how much counter steering that's gonna. You're gonna have to burn them tires up to get off these corners. Now hard brake into 1 and 2. '26 definitely has his hands full here tonight. Chuck Sweeting having a quiet day. Started in third, racing in third. He was a little off pace there in practice, but looks like he's figured it out. It's settled down for him. About 0.8 of a second separate him and the leader, Vern Bradley. Don't count out the 75. Really good at getting on and off pit road. Does an excellent job. The last race we saw, did a phenomenal job. Talking about a few different instances where the 75's been up front. Back here in fourth spot, we've got Richard Holland. Quiet night for him. Not one of the favorite tracks for some of these guys. Holland, I know he'd throw this thing clean off the schedule if he could, but nonetheless, top 5 performance for the 31 here tonight. Let's see how it shakes out as we're lap 21, and then round out your top 5. There's Rick Fagone, and we're starting to get a little bit of separation here. Talking about back to Brian Beach. It's an additional 0.7 of a second back here. And Troy Cook trying to get around him for the 6th spot. I know we've single filed out, but this race has went clean and green from the start. Good to see it. You know, it's tough. A lot of these guys fighting their animal instincts to just drive this thing deep into the corner and come off hot. Burn the right front off of this thing. You got to be patient with it. Lap after lap, just keep nursing it. Wait until those green flag pit stops. That's probably going to be the only chance that you might get to get a few positions. You got to do it perfect. So we ride on the nose camera. I'll show you the entrance to pit road here. New Hampshire, very tough. These guys are going to have to swing all the way down here to the bottom, right in the entrance. You see that dotted line, the gap in that yellow bar. That's what they have to aim for. What's going on, Denise? Good to see you in the chat. Welcome back. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. But let's zoom out here on the blimp camera. Single file for days right now. We've got a few cars back here. Todd Cleveland, Johnson New. There was a battle there briefly. 86 figured it out. Up to 13th now. Sanu on a mission. Get up in that top 10. Austin Wagner, Matt Egan in front of him here. Sanu's picking up the places. Started back in 19th, all the way up to 13th now. 6 positions gained, looking for that top 10 for the 86. Great performance by him tonight. Great drive, and here he goes, looking for another pass on the inside of Matt Egan. Still side by side as they come down the backstretch. I think Egan gets a little bit of a run on the exit of 2, but still has a nose in there. Outside seemed like it was preferred line, but you get that entrance there. Mine was excellent. I was sick the entire time. Yeah, I don't remember a lot of Christmas. I spent a lot of days in bed. My schedules never actually got back to normal. I had a string of 3 or 4 days there where I was getting up before 8 o'clock, and I shot that all back to hell. It's gone. We'll see. We'll see what it does. Getting around Matt Egan. There he is, 86 machine of Johnson New in 12th. But man, did he struggle in that entry. He had to drive it in deep to get into 3 and get around him. The next victim's here for the 86. He's moving up through this field quickly. Dakota Floyd, Austin Wagner. Listen to the power as they drive off the corner in third gear. And shooting to the outside. Austin Wagner trying to make up a position for the top 10 here. Side by side for 10th. Oh boy. Almost running out of track there for Floyd. Wagner gets to the outside. That opens up the door now for John Sanu, and maybe almost some contact there. They're door to door. Off the exit of 2, racing hard. Closing the door up though. Sanu thought he was going to have an opening, and it closed up quick. Takes it back down into 3 and 4. These guys being teammates, they're racing hard. And almost some contact there. I believe there was some door slap there. The news says, I gotta get around you, my guy. Sometimes that's how you gotta do it with teammates in New Hampshire. Not how you want to see it, but Sanu able to get around, put his car in the 11th spot. A lot of racing back here. I've seen some of these guys like Todd Cleveland struggling a little bit, falling back to 14th position. Burt Wilson back to 15th. Hal Amy in 16th position. So we talk about some of these guys that are usually up towards the front. Unfortunate break here. It stayed green for the 63. Had contact with the 21 machine, and I tell you what, Dylan Jamieson already 1 lap down. He's at the threat now of going 2 laps down. Let's gyro cam with the leader. Right on board with Vern Bradley. He's led a lot of these laps. 23 to be exact. And if you want to go on board back, Keaton Tripp is just a little speck back there. 3.6 second lead here for Vern Bradley as they approach their green flag pit stops. So we've kept it clean and green, 32 laps. I'm going to hit a quick commercial break here. I got somebody that's a little upset in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, so I'm going to take care of that real quick. I'll be right back after this. Brisket, not meth. Uh-oh, we had a yellow. I stepped away for 1 second. Yellow flag comes out on lap 34. We're going to try to get an idea of where that happened. These guys hit the instant replay button. I believe we figured it out here. Free truck of Hal Amy gets maybe some contact. I don't know if he had some help. We're going to ride here with them down the front straightaway. And shoots it into the corner. The 20 truck hits him in the door. It's right on board with the 20 machine of Kyle Stewart. Looks like the brakes might have just got away from him here. That's an overshot there on the 20's part. I think he's going to get the EOL for that penalty. And caution number 1. First caution of the night. Lap 33. That's what happens when you go to commercial break. Game on me, huh? All right, so it all shakes out. Vern Bradley was your leader when we took that yellow. Some of these guys electing not to take their tires, maybe pulling a little bit of strategy. You see Rick Fagone up here. Look at the stints on pit road. We have it at 9.1, 8.1, 7.7 for Troy Cook. So the top 3, looks like they might have taken fuel only or right side tires. We're going to see. This thing's very tight, so right side tires is not completely out of the question. I wouldn't think that you'd want to gamble this early in the race. Come down pit road, get some 4 fresh tires. It's going to be detrimental. I think you're going to see these leaders struggle to hold on with how much these things are falling off right now. I think it's going to make a big difference having 4 fresh ones for this restart. So, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, we'll call it the bigger version of Martinsville. Flat, paperclip shaped oval. A lot of tight groove racing. You got to be really careful you don't overshoot these corners we just saw there by the 20 of Kyle Stewart. But as we get sorted to go back green, we're doubling back up. And we've got Vern Bradley going to start on the inside. Rick Fagone on the outside. Troy Cook, your top 3 without tires. Keaton Tripp took 4 fresh ones. He'll be the first car with those 4 fresh ones. I think you're going to see the 26 get by these guys pretty quickly. Chuck Sweeting, Richard Holland, Brian Beach, Dustin Germain, and Austin Wagner, John T. Wimbish, your top 10. Getting set up to go green. Lights are out on that iRacing pace car. Gonna take the hard left. And one more turn. All right, we're set back up. 21 cars getting ready to go back. And it's going to get loud. Geico restart zone is there, and Vern Bradley gets a great hole shot. What a restart for the 114. And he's off to the races, trying to get away from Keaton Tripp, who drives it down to the inside of both the 51 and the 10. And he gets by quickly. What a difference these tires make. He shoots out like a rocket ship. I told you these tires are going to make a big difference. We're side by side in 3 and 4, but it was inevitable. Here goes the 26 off the exit. It's a tough break there. I mean, you got strategy. You got that extra set of tires in the belt, but these guys with 4 fresh ones, it's so important. Look at the position, the strategy. These guys could run away from these boys. We're talking about another 40-lap stint here. You got Dustin German that broke up into the top 5 here, getting around Chuck Sweeting. Vern Bradley, the highest car up right now, but he's barely holding on. He's holding on to the 2nd position. Those tires just, man, what a difference they're making. Had there been a bigger cushion, more cars that didn't elect to take tires, I think maybe it would have been a little bit longer of a lead for the 114, but just not enough cars electing not to take them, and that's unfortunate here. As you can see the speed difference. Vern's just going to have his hands full for the next 40 or so laps. Hopefully this doesn't get away from him. He led a lot of laps here. These guys patiently trying to get around the 114. And already you can see these tires starting to even out very quickly. It's already tough to pass. Even with that 30 lap difference on tires, it didn't seem to do all that much there for the inside line. Vern almost clipping the wall there, trying to hold on to the top 5. Chuck Sweeting to the inside for 4th, all the way down to the bottom. Now John T. Wimbish almost gets into the back of the 114. See some of these other guys we were talking about. Rick Fagoni's all the way back to 12th position already. Losing a ton of ground. He was in second just a moment ago. That's over 10 positions now lost for the 10 truck. That's a tall order. He's got a lot of work to do. But again, don't count him out, guys. We've still got a lot of racing left to do. And that extra set of tires could come in handy. We have like a late race caution. Shake up this strategy again. These wrinkles could be ironed out. There's John Sanu in 13th position. He was almost to the top 10. 86th car. Trying to figure out the recipe. Seems to be a really good long run truck. This place is going to be who can save the tires the longest. And unfortunately, when you elect not to take them, you find yourself where Troy Cook is right now. Back to the 16th spot. Fell all the way back from third on this restart. And we're talking about less than 5-6 laps. Matt Egan using it all the way down on the apron there. I'm not sure about that line. That one's dangerous. Good way to hit that inside wall. But we talked about the lead that Vern Bradley had on Keaton Tripp a moment ago. Now Keaton Tripp has a lead on Richard Holland, 1.2 seconds. And he's getting back to leading some laps. What the 26 car wanted to do to begin this thing. And we've got a battle back here. Sweeting gets around. Well, he's trying to get by the 54 of German. We've got the 28 of Austin Wagner, who I thought maybe was in that third position there for a fourth position maybe. Losing some ground to these boys. We just come off a week there where we went road course racing at Watkins Glen. You guys saw the action there. Flag to flag race. Excellent job by all these guys to get around that. That's a tough track to do. Tall order, but the talent is here. You've seen it 10 seasons consecutively now here at WFO. And if you're liking what you're seeing, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Share this broadcast and hit the like. So you never miss a single race. Working hard to get the name out there, and we appreciate it. All right, further back, John Sanu, he's going to work, trying to get back in that top 10. He's got Christopher Spencer here. That's the one truck he's got to get by. Spencer has the preferred line, but he's not downshifting. Sanu's got the advantage. All the way down to the bottom again. The Sanu's just doing a phenomenal job passing these late in the run. It's just, I know it seems like a lot of these guys are struggling to even get to the inside, but Sanu, man, he's almost going to make contact with the 11. He's able to back it down in time. What a close one that was. And we got a battle now with Dakota Floyd on the inside. Oh boy. I tell you what, those trucks are painted similar, so if they get damage on each other, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. The paint will trade just fine, but Sanu, he really wanted that top 10. Takes it away from Dakota Floyd. Now trying to try to go back to work on the 11 of Christopher Spencer. I tell you what, John Sanu driving it great tonight. A lot of positions gained for this 86 truck. That's 9 spots so far, and he's looking to make it number 10 as he gets to the inside of the 11. Almost to the inside of the 55 in front of him. That's Todd Cleveland running in the 8th position right now. Brian Beach, been in and out of the top 5. Quiet night for him so far, but that's how you want it at a place like this. You want it to just be quiet and calm. Get the racing done, get it over with. 51 laps completed, and these guys still trying to sort out who's going to be the cream that rises to the top. Right now, most positions gained goes to the 86 of John Sanu. But we've got a few guys that have been in and out. In and out. Burt Wilson recovering nicely. He was back there in the 16th, 17th position. Since then, back up to 12th. A tough break there with Hal Amy bringing out that caution, but he's running 16th. A little bit by his lonesome. We've got about a 1.5 second gap to the 10 truck of Rick Fagone. Remember Ricky, one of the trucks that did not take tires on that last stop. And is this gap shrinking? It's not. Intermittent between Richard Holland and Keaton Tripp. Up to 2.5 seconds now. Let's just show you what that looks like here. 2.5 seconds looks like an eternity. A long drive, chat. That's a long drive. Right, so 23 laps led here for the 26 machine of Keaton Tripp. And we've got a truck in the wall right in front of him. Erdina. Looks like he tagged the wall just a brief second there. He's one of those guys who got caught up with Glenn Jameson earlier in this race. He's going to pull it down to the apron, let them 26 car, the leader, go by. 21 truck might be pulling it into pit road. Yep, it looks like he is. Wagner down to the bottom. Pass for third place here. Nicely done by the 28. No crossover from the 75 of Sweeting. Put Wagner up to P3. These trucks both on the same stint of tires, so this might just be a long run here for Austin Wagner. Might be putting it all together, finally figuring out this place. It's a tough track to learn. It's got a very sensitive line. You don't want to go too low in the corners, but you kind of diamond these things in a way that you can come off with a lot of speed because it's essentially two drag strips with turns connecting them. You guys see what I'm talking about? That's what it is. You got to downshift, get the run off the corner, bury it down in there, hope it sticks. A lot of counter steer to keep this thing going in the right direction. Battle there briefly. I thought John Sanu was going to be John T. Wimbush. He made quick work of that. I missed it. John Sanu into the 6th position. This guy on a mission right now. Unbelievable how fast he's came through this field. One of the few guys that's even passing. I think that downshifting is part of it. Up to 6th spot. "13 positions gained so far. So your top 10, Keaton Tripp, Richard Holland, Austin Wagner, Chuck Sweeting, Dustin Germain, John Sanu, John T. Wimbish, Todd Cleveland, Brian Beach, and Christopher Spencer. You have to go back pretty far to get back there to Christopher Spencer, but we can do it. We have the technology. He's side by side with Brian Beach right now for the 10th spot. 9th position, actually. So again, welcome back, chat. How was your Christmas mine? Like I said, sleep schedule's all messed up. We're trying to figure it out. I know some of us might have got abducted by UFOs for that solid week. I didn't hear from any of these guys. They got super quiet there. But I hope everybody's holiday was good. Hope everybody was safe. A lot of weird things going on in the world right now. So I hope everybody stayed safe and enjoyed time with their family. All right, blimp camera brought to you by Nation 01. That's where we put him up there flying the blimp today. The closest he can get to the aliens without phoning home. We keep him up there so he doesn't get abducted. we'll just kind of recap what's happened here. Keaton Tripp that started on the pole, had some early race issues, tagged the wall. 114 of Vern Bradley able to take away that position and lead quite a few laps, but caution comes out lap 33, shuffles up this field, and now you've got some cars that didn't take tires on this pit stop, just took fuel. They're looking for something to recover here. It's gonna be a lot of work to do. Like you see how far back from the leader at 16 seconds. Keaton Tripp has pulled out over Vern Bradley, who was the leader on that last stint. That's what happens with these limited sets of tires. Sometimes you got to gamble. You got to elect not take them on the next stop. We'll see what kind of difference that can make later on in the race. But if we have any more cautions, that strategy could get thrown clean out the window. Holland working around the 20 right now. Trying to get by Kyle Stewart. Not for position. Keaton Tripp's going to be working on some more lap traffic here in just a moment. Looks like the 0-2 of Matt Egan in front of him. I'm glad you liked it. It's that lack of sleep. I think it's working out. It's working out thus far. I'll tell you what else is working out. Keaton Tripp. 4 tires. Put in some fuel. Put this guy to P1. He's driving away with it. 5.5 seconds. And that downshift making a huge difference. Listen to these lines. We're going to ride around one time with Keaton Tripp. One lap around here, and then we're going to go to your second place driver, Richard Holland, and show you what a difference it's making. We'll post it there with the lap time. You can see the difference. 31.851 that last time by. Let's see what he can post this time around. There he comes down the front stretch across the line to lead 36 laps. 31.919. And then we go on board 32.069 for Richard Holland. So we're talking about a 1/10 of a second difference, and that's accumulating over time. The more this race goes on. Oh boy, we got a smoker here. Uh-oh. We've got a pop motor for the 26. He might have downshifted it too much. We're going to go back a little bit more and see what happened to him. We're on board with the 26, and he hits the wall. Hits the wall and pops the motor, just brushing the wall. I'm not satisfied with that, chat. I'm not satisfied with that. Let's go back and watch one more. Man, that was a hard lick, though. Did his wheel malfunction? Did he have issues again? He's leading this race. Oh, just what I mean, it's a light tap. Wouldn't think that would be enough to pop a motor, but it did. Engine blown on the 26. New leader Richard Holland. Incredible turn of events here. Can't believe what I'm seeing here. These guys have been racing, chasing that 26 who had a massive lead. We were talking about 5-6 seconds. And the 26 is sitting on pit road now. Richard Holland takes over the lead. Somebody threw a shoe out on the track or something. That was just uncharacteristic for Keaton Tripp, who's sitting on pit road right now. Might be done for the day. He's able to coast it back, but man, oh man. Go back to the 28 of Austin Wagner, who's 2.3 seconds back from Richard Holland, now in the second position. He's got a little bit of right side damage on that machine, so that might hinder him down the straightaways. A lot of these guys getting caught up in the wall. Third spot, Chuck Sweeting. John Sanu up in the top 5. Look at this animal. Check back in with him. This Toyota Tundra on another level right now. Incredible drive for the 86 of John Sanu. I'm impressed. I'm going to vote John Sanu driver of the day. Hands down. I'm going to say 86. This guy started in 19th and he's drove all the way up to the top 5. I hope he can hold on to it. This is one heck of a race for him tonight. He's flirting with the top 3 here. He's getting up here on the bumper of Chuck Sweeting. We might have a battle for third here in just a moment. This driver is focused, locked in. Off of turn 2, down to the inside, down to the bottom, in 3 and 4, and just like that, top 3 for John Sanu. He's drove it all the way from the back to where he is now. Still got some work to do, but I tell you what, that 86 is looking good. Todd Cleveland up in the top 5. Good recovery for him. He was one of those guys that was struggling a moment ago. Seems like the long run has favored the 55 Copenhagen machine. A lot of these guys have flip-flopped. Denise, you're voting for yourself? I'm not so sure. I can vote for myself. Can I do that? I'm going to cast it, though. I'm going to start the hype train for him. There we go. I'll put it up there in chat. Why not? I mean, look what the guy's accomplished here today. He's up to second position. We've got some green flag pit stops starting, though. Let's see what we got here. Austin Wagner on pit road. Left side's going up on this machine. He's down and away. Tough there for the 114 of Vern Bradley to get in his stall there. 28 leaving just as he comes around. But Sanu, man, I tell you what, if he can get on and off pit road, there he comes. A little bit of right side damage. Hopefully not a speeding penalty. Let's stay on board here with the 86. Right side's only, maybe just fuel. Maybe just fuel here on this stop. Christopher Spencer down pit road. John T. Wimbush in there as well. Al Amy coming down. Todd Cleveland. Richard Holland has hit pit road as well. He's coming back out on the track. And the 86 of John Sanu beats him out of pit road. That fuel only stop. Let's see how it pans out for the 86. Almost 3 wide here. With Austin Wagner on the outside. It is 3 wide. Sanu has to back it down. Let's see what happens. Sanu, one of those top 3 cars. I think this field's spread out enough. It's not going to hurt quite as bad here. Chuck Sweeting down pit road now. Dustin German just behind him. This will shake out for Austin Wagner to be your leader, I do believe, when it's all said and done. But he's got a lot of right side damage. And Richard Holland is coming. Wagner's going to get a lap lead here. Him coming around down to the bottom of the track. Overshoots a landing just a little bit, but I think he's going to be able to hold on to it for one. But he's going to have to get in gear because Holland's coming. There it is, ironing out the wrinkles. John Sanu is going to maintain that top 3. Battle for the lead shaping up. 0.2 of a second separate these two guys. Talking about a 2-car battle between Richard Holland and Austin Wagner. "79 laps completed, and a little tag with the wall for the 28. That's going to open up a door here for the 31 of Richard Holland down to the bottom. It's unusual. These guys are hitting the wall in the middle of these straightaways. It doesn't seem like it's in the exits. It seems like it's down that front stretch. So maybe this thing's a handful. It's a straight line. Pretty turbulent. Here we go. Side by side off of 4. Wagner going to hold on for one more of them. So tough to pass for the 31. This battle's not letting up. And I tell you who's really loving this. Johnson New. We're talking about 5 seconds back, but the New was sitting pretty when he came down pit road. He's sitting pretty back out on the track. Able to maintain third. We might have an upset here. You get this guy some fresh tires, let him go out there and try to chase these boys down. He is the fastest car without tires. He's actually the only car without tires. So a reverse Uno card for the 86. He's going to have his hands full with Chuck Sweeting. I know this thing's starting to get a little tight on him. Best thing John can do right now is just contemplate the situation that he's got here. He's got old tires. You've got a lot of guys that have new ones. Just try to maintain your gaps, hit your lines. And you'll have to let some of these guys by, catch them on the flip side. Later in this race, when they don't have tires, this could pay off something fierce. It could be crazy what these tire strategies are going to do. One caution here tonight. Track temperature's cooled off just a little bit, so some of these guys look like they may be starting to find that grip. 109, one caution, 6 lead changes. 154 miles going to be completed here today at New Hampshire. What's going on, Cindy? Making sure our audio, everything checks and balances. It all sounds good. I hope. We didn't have audio there for the very start of this thing, but all the buttons are working now. All right, recap. Here's your top 5. Richard Holland in the first position, trying to pull away. almost 7 seconds ahead of your second place driver, Chuck Sweeting, who's coming down the backstretch right now. Then in the third spot, we've got Todd Cleveland, who gets around your third place driver that was Johnson New. The New kind of falling back. We got some weird things going on. Third place not being scored right now, and I'm not sure why. Third place isn't showing up on this top 5 graphic. There it goes. It reset a little bit. Dustin Germain going to be in your top 5. He'll go to work here on the inside of Johnson New. Tires making a huge difference. Like usual, we talked about it earlier. Some of those guys that elected not to take tires, they're back up in the top 10. We're working on it. Vern Bradley back up in 8th. He's running behind Burt Wilson in that 7th position. Tires making a world of difference here today. You had to save one set. Part of that strategy. I don't think it was the wrong strategy. I just think it's going to be a struggle if this thing goes green from here on out. All the way down to the bottom here for the 7th position. Vern Bradley, a little contact with Burt Wilson. They touch coming off of 4, but no harm, no foul. Able to hold on to it. So switcher spots there. Burt Wilson trying to hold it down as best he could. That could have been a close one. Battle for the 10th position. John T. Wimbish to the inside of Dakota Floyd. That battle shakes out. It's going to take a few laps to get around him. Got to have that discipline. It's going to take a while. Lap after lap, these guys starting to rubber in this track. You can see the grooves starting to move up the race surface a little bit. Guys hunting for grip, trying to find that method, but I'll tell you who's got the method figured out. And yeah, he's got his hands full, but big gap back to Brian Beach for the 86, so he's got nothing to worry about after that. Maybe momentarily. As Vern Bradley's trying to get by the 18 of Beach. He's going to do it. Give the 6th position to Vern Bradley. The new 8.3 in the stall. He did not take tires. Let's say that he's holding it pretty well, though. Comes into pits, 2nd spot, up in the top 3. Kudos to him tonight for that awesome drive. All by his lonesome here. 7 seconds ahead, just trying to maintain that gap, take his time. The Outcast Motorsports machine of Richard Holland, your leader here. As we're past the halfway mark, well past the halfway mark. All right, these guys got to be approaching these green flag pit stops yet again. Just trying to break it in. I'd like to see what happens. We've got 2 cars out of the race. That'd be the 02 of Matt Egan, the 28 of Austin Wagner, and Keaton Tripp. He's down there on pit road right now. But your pole sitter, Pops and Motor, somewhere around lap 69, I think. Tough break for the 26. He had a heck of a lead going. All right. We get the cameras at the right angles. That's what we're trying to do, at least. Show you your leader. Show you the time zone he's kind of developed for himself. 7 seconds. That's a heck of a lead. We got 6 cars being scored at least 1 lap down from Glenn Jamieson, Austin Wagner, Matt Egan, Keaton Tripp, and Raymond Herdina. One more car that would technically be laps down but isn't out on the field in my timing and scoring is the 81 of Michael McCauley, elected to go up there in the booth and supervise this race. So it's a thankless job, but we need to thank him, chat. Race stewards don't get enough credit for what they do. Make sure you guys thank him for that. All right. At what point do I officially run out of things to talk about? I don't know. I'm trying to do this professionally. You're here on WFO Racing Network, home of the WFO Racing League, Twisted Tuesday Truck Series, and the Wicked Wednesday Xfinity Series. Tomorrow night, tune in, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Yours truly be out there on the track. We're going to go back to New Hampshire for the Xfinity Series. And I think it's going to be a different handling machine. You see all the momentum base, like Chuck Sweeting right now, sitting in the 2nd position. Diming those corners. Let's ride on board with him and see if he is shifting down. Some of these guys have been shifting down all race long. He is. He's taking it down a peg. And he has shaved that lead down to 6.7 seconds. Still a lot of work to do, though. Will the green flag pit stops help with that? Chuck's very good about getting on and off pit road faster than anybody else. Not sure if we can find a battle here. I'm looking for one. There we go. There's a battle on the track. Unfortunately, it's got a 10 truck there, and I'm not sure where the timing score is putting that 10 truck. Because it's got him scored 1 lap down in 16th position. So there. That's what happened. This race went green. He didn't take the tires on the restart on that last caution, and there he sits. 1 lap down outside of the top 10. So if I'm going quiet, I'm sorry. It is catching up to me. That lack of sleep, it's slowly getting to me. Lap after lap. But I hope I can keep you guys awake for the remainder of this race. We're coming up with about 50 to go. Lap 99, led by Richard Holland. 6.2 second gap here. And Holland's not shifting down. I don't think he's been doing it all race. He's stuck with his strategy. That probably works okay in the early portions of the run, but these tires falling off the way they are. The longer you go. Yeah, need some coffee? You were right there with me. Last week, I think you guys were all over the place with chat. Last week, we broadcasted it at Watkins Glen. I think you said some accidental things. But it's no accident right now. First place, Richard Holland, Chuck Sweeting in third, Todd Cleveland or second for Chuck Sweeting, third, Todd Cleveland. Back to fourth, Dustin German, and Vern Bradley has worked his way back into the top 5. He's putting in the hard labor. Long run going for him. Then we go back a little bit further. 86 of John Sanu. He's driving his heart out. Hopefully these tires pan out for him. Brian Beach in 7th position. Burt Wilson, 8th, 9th position. Dakota Floyd and Christopher Spencer rounding out your top 10. And we'll go blimp camera just for a few seconds. Oh man, I tell you what, I'm going to sleep like a baby. Definitely sleeping like a baby. I don't know if coffee would be a good idea at this point. I know it's poor taste, but I really don't want to end up like we had there in the NFL on Monday night. What a crazy event that was. I don't know if you guys watch the NFL at all, but that Bills player, crazy. And a lot of other news. You know, anybody know who Ken Block is out there in the chat? What about the guy from Hawkeye? A lot of things. They come in threes. A lot of crazy stuff. This is in the top 10 here. Hal Jr., I know you would know. Crazy, man. Crazy. This is Christopher Spencer on board right now in the 11 truck. He's the last car in the top 10. There's your last car in the top 5. That's Vern Bradley. And a little shuffle here, but this isn't for position. Rick Fagone on what seems to be fresher tires for the 10 truck. 12 laps on his stint. He tries the short pit, maybe enough to get your lap back. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if this strategy pays off for the 10. I don't know. I feel like that situation is just getting out of it's going to be tough for these guys. Elected not to take tires. One of the guys that has recovered, we're watching him right now, is Vern Bradley. Comes around this place. "106 laps completed." These guys just ticking them away. Lap after lap, we're staying green. Better make me one too, Hal. Hook me up, Junior. Hook me up. Don't worry, Chad, I didn't fall asleep. I looked down just for a second, had to check my phone, and a big notification came through. I'm not sure if you guys heard that or not, so I'm going to turn that down. Professional level, that's what we're going for here. Professional grade. You going to do a cappuccino? That's a lot of caffeine. I could use it right now. Might have rode me away to nothing. Lap traffic is going to be the name of the game here for the 31. He's coming up on the 72. Jacob Daniels. This is for the 12th position technically on going a lap down. Al Lamy, the first car a lap down if a caution were to come out, but I have a feeling that's not going to be the case here in one more corner. There it is. 72, Jacob Daniels a lap down. So Holland's lead dwindles down to 4.5 seconds to Chuck Sweeting, and it's getting smaller by the minute. Let's see what happens as they fan out a little bit more. On board again with Chuck Sweeting and that downshifting maneuver that everybody's been so fond of here tonight. Doing what they got to do. Different lines. Tell you what, these camera angles brought to you by Amy Contracting. Twisted Tuesday Truck Series is also presented by Amy Contracting. And a shout out to Amy Nation. I see you all in chat. Thank you guys for showing up to the stream. I know that week break kind of threw everybody's time off. I'm glad you were able to make it in here. But again, I will plug it. If you guys share this link with anybody, you would be doing us a great service. WFO been solid 10 seasons. Been using the WFO network to broadcast live racing to you guys. Make sure that you never miss a single race. The WFO is more than that. There's other leagues that are being broadcasted on the Sunday night. American Sim League. I believe that's the acronym for it. I race in it and I don't even know what it's called. But Vern Bradley's been broadcasting that now, I believe, for 2 seasons, and he's doing a fantastic job. He's taught me a lot of the things I know about broadcasting. I think rule number 1 is don't close your eyes. They're getting heavy, chat. They're getting so heavy. Hey, we got a car down in the grass. That looks like the 3 truck of Hal Lamy. He's able to gather it back up, but not until he loses another couple spots. He's losing a lot of ground here. That truck just looks like it's struggling. Very tight condition. Might have got loose off the exit. Now I'm clicking buttons. I'm not seeing what I'm clicking. This is going great. Just got to make it through 40, well, let's go 37 more laps. These guys are ticking them away really quickly. Thank goodness for that. New Hampshire, tough place to get around. We got a battle here on pit road. Vern Bradley comes down. He was in 5th when he came in. Being scored as 7th. Second pit stall. Going to be I think this is going to be the last scheduled stop. Some of these guys might have an extra set when it's all said and done. We'll see what happens if a caution does come out. I think those guys will elect to pit, the ones that saved it. You're looking at one of those guys that took the gamble very early in this race. Left yourself plenty of room to recover. That's what you have to do. Lead down to 3.7 seconds. Sweeting making up a ton of time. Holland navigates the lap traffic, but he's running out of lead. It's getting shorter and shorter with every lap that ticks by. At one point it was almost 7 seconds, maybe briefly peaked at 7, and now we're talking about less than 3 here in a minute. Floyd going to go back around him. I believe we're going to see the 31 car come down pit road this time by. Yes, he does. And nicely done on the entry. Nice and smooth. He's got about the 4th or 5th pit stall. Let's look at how many laps he's led so far tonight. 42. Chuck Sweeting's going to follow suit. He's got 3 laps led, but 75 is going to come down in there. He's got that lead dwindled down. But it seems like it only happens on the long run. Short run, not the strong suit. 75 is going to maybe lose some of this time. Down and away for the 31. We go back to Chuck Sweeting, who's down and away now. 2.5 seconds. Holland getting up to speed. And he's going to use these tires to their full potential. More cars on pit road. Glenn Jamison, Hal Amey. Rick Fagone coming back out. There's a pass right there. Jacob Daniels and Troy Cook. That's for 13th. Both of these cars being scored one lap down. Some of these guys fighting to get the lucky dog. That wave around position, so important. John Sanu electing to take tires this time. Let's see if he can drive back up there. He hasn't fallen out of the top 10, but he was up there in the top 3. He's got to get that fire lit back under his ass. He's got the drive. I've seen him do it. He's passed 100 cars here tonight. He's going for it. Kudos to the 86 car. I know I'm fanboying right now, but when I'm geeking out, we're watching Richard Holland. 3 seconds almost ahead. 2.4, and it's not growing. Sweeting on the move. Try to pay close attention to this. This could end up being a battle here when we have less than 5 to go. 0.3 of a second. There's the downshift. The drive off. Excellent job for the 75. I want to say in our post-race interview, Sweeting talked about how he likes this place. It's on his list. It's got a big check mark on the calendar. We're going to New Hampshire. Confident drive. All right, so Todd Cleveland, your top 3. Vern Bradley back up to 4th. What a recovery this guy's had. What I can guarantee you is a lot of these guys are using the paddle shifts here tonight. They're not going to chance it. You've seen some of these guys snap into the wall. You're going to have to be careful. You don't want to downshift. We call that a money shift. You go 1, 2, 1, blow the engine. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, accidentally shift down into second. Paddle shifts make that a little easier or a little harder to do versus an H pattern, but I don't know if I want to shift that many times in this race. That's a lot of work. That sounds like work, and I don't like it. All right. So let's size it up here. We've got less than 20. Well, we got 27 to go. I thought we had less than 25 to go, but we're down to 27. Richard Holland, your leader. Chuck Sweeting, who's got it down under 2 seconds on a mission. We had lap traffic here. Holland's within reach. Sweeting's just got to get around the 11 to Christian. We got Christopher Spencer and Dakota Floyd. Easier said than done. These guys have been doing really well, though. Very courteous for the lap down cars. But Holland's going to have to maintain 1.7 seconds. It might get easy here for just a second as Christopher Spencer gets down out of the way. Next car in line will be the 24 Dakota Floyd. We're talking about 9 cars all the way up to 9th position. being scored one lap down. That's what green flag racing looks like at WFO. This field gets good and spread out, and it's going to be a fuel battle, a tire battle, whatever battle you want. But I'm interested to see how fast this lead dwindles down now that Chuck Sweeting has been able to clear it. 25 laps to go. He's got plenty of time to do it. Driver long here as you show the 31.2 second lap time. Last time by Richard Holland with a 31.148, 31.316 this time by, and that's a little more like it, but that gap, what's going on with it? We got to go back even further, 8 seconds back to Todd Cleveland. It might wrap up the day in the third spot. Anything could happen though. We could have a caution. I know we don't want to jinx anybody, but we could have a yellow that throws all these strategies out the window. Great job though for Vern Bradley, able to recover from that tire fiasco. It's hard to predict what's going to happen. A lot of these guys came down pit road the first time. They said, I want 4 fresh ones and I want to try to run away. It's went green ever since with only 1 caution. It's not looking good for the home team. WFO, Vern Bradley, he's going to get the top 5. I think he's got a top 5, maybe a top 3, but what a gap he's got to overcome to get to that leader. 11.97 seconds to your first place driver. All right, almost got her shaved down to 20 to go. Holland's gonna put the heat on. 1.69 seconds that time by. 31.411, and then we go up here to a 31.436. That's a couple hundredths of a second that Holland lost that time by. I know that might not seem like much, but that could start turning into tenths of a second as this lap run progresses. And you start navigating this lap traffic. There's Glenn Jamieson in the 63 in front of 31 of Richard Holland. Gotta shape it up. Plan those passes accordingly with the lap traffic. Again, being very courteous, they're getting out of the way, but you start racing to be the last car on the lead lap. I don't think it's a problem right now for the 63. Unfortunately for him, he had to hit the pit road a little early. Get things fixed back up. Still no downshift for the 31. He's running it light and variable. And we're watching that lead shrink down. 1.5 seconds now. Sweeting looks like a man on a mission. He has the potential to get up there. 1.4 seconds. 18 laps to go. You just got to have nerves of steel. You can't look in your mirror. You can't think too much about it. That's how you start losing more time. So just be uber careful. All right, trying not to have dead air here, but we're looking for a battle. I'm looking for some cars that are racing. I found something going on. Looks like Rick Fagone getting around Jacob Daniels. This is for the 12th position. But as soon as we called that battle out, it was over with. That fast. Ah, I'm going to have to work faster than that, chat. .3 seconds now. Watch this lead shrink more and more. 1.2 across the line. 1.5. That downshifting making a huge difference. Chuck Sweeting starting to catch Richard Holland. Let's find out. I tell you what, If anybody's got the potential to do it, it's the 75 right now. Can he get up there? Does he have enough time? I don't know. That gap shrunk down. Another 1/10 of a second there that lap. Uh-oh. Okay, we reconnected. We live? We good? Everybody okay? New Year's was good, guys. I hope you're still with me on the broadcast. If not, we had a little hiccup there. Check the stream. Hit the reset. All right, trying to figure this out because Richard Holland's lead is down to 9/10 of a second. If we're sizing this up, all Sweeting has to do is a 1/10 a lap. This is going to come down to the nitty-gritty. We'll run through your top three real quick. Richard Holland, Chuck Sweeting, Todd Cleveland, Vern Bradley in 4th, and Dustin Germain in 5th. There it is up on the screen. It's dwindling down. 6/10, 7/10 is what he's going to have to get it down to. Holland putting on some hot laps, though, here in the closing of this race as we approach 10 to go. Okay. I just had a notification pop up that OBS decided to quit working for just a brief second there. Everything reconnected okay. Everything's shot back up. I think we're all right. I think we're going to be all right. Hopefully the broadcast and nothing ended. Hopefully it all reconnected okay. Nothing got broken on my end of the stream, so we're good. I think we're good. 11 laps to go. Can he chase him down? Chuck Sweeting coming off of turn 2, downshifting, trying everything he can. 8/10 of a second in 1 and 2. 7/10 of a second now as they go into 3 and 4. He's got her shaved down as close as he can get it, but Richard Holland starting to put those laps down. That's what he had to do. Save and nurse those tires. Now we're coming down. 11 laps left. 10 laps to go now as they cross the line. This is the race for the win. Can they get it down close enough? Are we going to have a two-way battle for the lead? All right. Sorry about that. I got a 5-year-old that doesn't want to pick up his toys, so they're going in the garbage, and he's not very happy about it. So I apologize if you guys can hear that in the background. I know it might be happening. It's life. It's life as we know it. And we're all human. But we're going to figure it out. Hopefully, Holland can figure it out. He's got it right here. It's his race to win. John Sanu in front of him. We were talking about a Sanu earlier. He's fallen back to 8th position. Tell you what, Sanu's battling with Brian Beach. We got a car on the wall, maybe? I believe Beach might have tagged the wall there for a brief second. Sanu's battling hard. I know we're going to have a battle shaping up between your leaders. These guys going at it. This is for position. I know these guys are at threat of going a lap down, but they're racing hard. They're trying to get to that 7th position here for John Sanu. He had a taste of the top 3 at one point in this race and go up here to the 6th place. Look at that, Burt Wilson. What a turnaround for him tonight. Dustin German going to be your 5th place driver, and then Vern Bradley, not quite the recovery he wanted, but nonetheless a top 5 for the 114. Looking good here in these closing laps. Coming up on 5 to go, and I tell you what, right on board. Let's go on the hood cam. You can see this battle brewing up in front of us between Brian Beach and John Sanu. Holland knows that he's going to have to get up there in that mix here probably within the next 2 or 3 laps. He's going to be up there with those guys. He can't afford to get held up, so 0.6 of a second now. 5 laps to go. Chuck Sweeting trying to chase him down. Casting those votes for driver of the day, guys. Make sure you do it. Get your votes in. This lead is just not shrinking down enough. Sweeting's pushing it hard. He's trying to catch him. But I think he's going to run out of time unless Holland gets caught up in something here. He's got caught up to Brian Beach. That's the 8th position driver. The lead's dwindled down 0.4 of a second now. Holland's going to have to make quick work of these guys if he gets caught up in running in traffic. This could be the loss of the race. I don't know how much he's catching these boys in front of him, but he is going to be running side by side with them here soon. 0.4, 0.5. It's still hovering around. Sanu is able to get up there into the 7th position. Man, right on their bumpers now. Richard Holland. 2 laps to go. White flag next time by. A lot of lap traffic in front of this 31 car. But 0.5 of a second gap. 72 coming off the wall here. He makes quick work of that one. Sweeting meets him at the wrong time. He's going to lose a little bit of ground there. That gives a 10th back to the 31. As he comes around for the white flag, off of turn 4, Richard Holland sees it up in the air. One more time around this speedway. He's done it so well here today. He put himself in the right position at the right time. Unfortunate there what happened to the 26 of Keaton trip. And Richard Holland comes off of turn 2, your leader. Chuck Sweeting just doesn't have enough left in the tank. Off of turn 3 and 4. And to the inside of Brian Beach. He's going to let him stay down there. Checkered flag in the air. Richard Holland, your race winner here today at New Hampshire. Twisted Tuesday Truck Series. Great finish here. Top 3, Chuck Sweeting, Todd Cleveland coming across the line. Great race here. 1 caution here tonight. Great job by all these guys. Your top 5 back to Vern Bradley, Dustin German. Congratulations to your race winner, Richard Holland, who's going to bring it down to the front straightaway. I think we're about to see some donuts. There he is, burning it down. Top 3 post-race interviews coming at you. Richard Holland's going to be up here in the booth. Congratulations to him, and congratulations for driver of the day to him as well. He's going to rip the tires clean off this thing. Great race for him tonight. Great race all around for all these guys. WFO Twisted Tuesday Truck Series. Be right back after this. it, not meth. Oh, God. I got your back, man. I got your back. Just kidding. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
Clear. Car outside. Clear outside. Clear. Car outside. Clear outside.
All right, we've got up in Twisted Tuesday victory lane with a 31 of Richard Holland. Your race winner here tonight at New Hampshire. And I tell you what, man, Sweeting was coming, had some lap traffic there in front of you, but it just worked out perfectly. The seas parted, and you were able to get it done here tonight. Congratulations.
Yeah, man, thanks. We're pretty excited about this one. You know, we don't usually run great at places like New Hampshire and, you know, Milwaukee and places like that. I mean, we do all right, but we're not usually in it for the win. I know Keaton had this thing in the bag. I mean, he was checking out and something happened to him, obviously. So, you know, we were handed this opportunity. So I was like, man, I got to get up on the wheel here. Like this race is up for grabs, you know, and, you know, I don't know what happened to Vern, but something happened to him and Vern. And just, you know, I knew this race was up for grabs and we had to do what we could do to grab it. And I don't know, I think maybe speaking out of turn here, but maybe Chuck had some problem on one of the pit stops, maybe because I felt like I gained a lot of ground on him there. I don't know, but I know those last two runs he was reeling me in. I was trying to save the thing. I didn't want to completely burn it up and then not be able to, you know, hold him off if he did get to me, especially that last run. I was trying to manage it, but not let him get to me. I mean, he got a lot closer than I wanted him to, man. He was coming.
Yeah, we saw the race there at the start with Keaton Tripp, and then, you know, I don't think you were speaking out of turn on that. Something bad happened to the 26, and it just, it's unfortunate. It barely tagged to the wall there that took him out of the contention for this race, but there at the end, Chuck is trying to chase you down. You've got a mirror full of them. You know that the race is winding down. We're getting towards the end, and you got lap traffic. So what's going through your mind there at the very end of this race?
Just to hit my marks and not overdrive the truck, you know. I felt like I had saved enough to where if I just hit my marks and didn't overdrive the thing and he didn't gain like huge amounts on me, that I could hold him off. And I was thinking that, you know, once he got within that, you know, 6, 7, 8 tenths, that he'd probably get tight behind me and so or whatever. So yeah, basically just I didn't really want to catch that traffic because then you never know what was going to happen, you know. But I was hoping to not catch the traffic and just hit my marks, basically.
All right, well, you got it done. We come off that hiatus, a little Christmas break. Did you have a Merry Christmas? Great New Year?
I did. Thank you. How about
Well,
you?
you got it. Oh, mine was good. I mean, it sounds like we're both getting over some sickness. You mentioned that you've been having this cough and this cold, but I know something that might make you feel a little bit better. On
Yeah.
top of all of it, you got driver of the day here tonight. 31
Nice.
truck getting
Hell
it.
yeah.
Amy Nation coming out in droves for you tonight. So
Woo, hell yeah, man. So we appreciate the support, man. Like I say, you know, them guys come out and they watch these races. You can't say enough about that, you know. Somebody actually in your corner watching your races and supporting you and rooting for you, you know. And like I say, I go back and watch the broadcast and I watch everything that, you know, all of Amy Nation says. We have other fans, you know, people that root for us watch the races too, and we go back and look at all the comments. We appreciate everything they say nice about us, and you know, appreciate the support. So thank you guys.
we appreciate you. Anybody else you'd like to thank for tonight's victory there, Richard?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my teammates, Ricky and Troy and Hal. Tonight, they, you know, just a great group of guys to race with. They weren't quite up, you know, as fast, and I think they had a little bit different strategy, which didn't work out great. But you know, at the end of the day, they probably learned what not to do, I guess. So I just want to thank you for doing these broadcasts for us to have something to go back and watch, because it's a lot of fun, especially if you had a good run or won the race or whatever. But and anybody that has anything to do with running the league, I want to thank Vern for everything that he does, and McCully and Hal. And I got to thank that goddamn Nation guy, I guess.
Yeah, we had him up in the blimp here tonight. I think that's the closest we can get him to the aliens, but without him being abducted. So we
Did
put him
you
up
throw
there.
him the hell out of it?
Yeah, it was filled with helium. It was safe. I mean, we didn't fill it with hydrogen this week. So, so yeah, man, congratulations on that win. And yeah, it was coming down to the wire. I was starting to wonder, but you got it done. So great job.
Hell yeah, man! Get a first truck win of the season. Actually, I think this is our second win. I think.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
able
yeah,
to
yeah.
pretty clutch that there last
Yep.
week. Well, it seems like an
Watkins
eternity to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So technically, it's actually back-to-back truck wins for us. So maybe we're getting the momentum right at the right time here at the start of the playoffs. So
Well, we'll see. Building up that momentum, right place at the right time. Richard Holland, your winner here tonight. Great drive here tonight for the 31. Appreciate your time, buddy.
thanks, Coop. Appreciate it.
Woo! HJRM victory lane, and then we've got your second place finisher who was trying to chase him down. That just lap traffic. It's looking like it was falling your way there for a second, and then that gap just stopped shrinking. Chuck Sweetie, you got a copy?
Yeah. Hey, sorry. Yeah. I gave it everything I had. Richard just was so consistent. When I got up close enough to him to see the line he was running, he was just exactly the same spot every lap, every corner. And I just, this is not my favorite track. No excuses. He just drove better than me, and congrats to him on the win. And yeah, I'm sweating a little bit. That was a tough race.
Well, I tell you, man, we had a number of different lines around this place, but how about the guys that were downshifting? You were one of them, and there was a select few that weren't. I don't know if that made a huge difference, or if it, maybe later in the run it started to come on, but that seemed to be how you were catching so quickly, is that drive off, downshift into third gear.
Yeah, once the tires get a little heat in them, you'll lose about a half a tenth if you're not downshifting just off of the exit of the corner. I don't think it really helps you anywhere else in the corner, but on the exit, these things aren't geared quite right, and I don't like doing that. It throws my rhythm off. That's why I couldn't run a perfect line like Richard did. I'm just fighting it every time I go in the corner for every single lap.
Yeah, I mean, I could see where that little checkup, that little niche, if you do it wrong, it could throw your entire corner off, and you come out the other side. And hey, man, kudos to you, though. A lot of these guys we had the 26 of Keaton Tripp. I'm not really sure what happened to him to here tonight, but we had a number of different guys that got up there and led the race. Vern Bradley was up there. I think you even snagged some laps there at one point, but we ran clean and green for quite some time.
Yeah, I led a few laps just running a little bit longer than people on fuel. I think that might have hurt me there at the end too. I ran a little bit too long the previous stop, but yeah, Keaton was just I don't know. He's in another zip code, which he often is in the series. So I'm not sure what happened to her. He lost the motor somehow or another, but yeah, it would have probably been third place for me if he hadn't had trouble. But yeah, it's a tough track. Hopefully tomorrow night we won't have to shift, and I might be able to focus a little bit more on being more consistent with my line, and maybe get one spot better on the finish.
Well, we're gonna have some horsepower tomorrow night, so we look forward to it, Chuck. And you got anybody you'd like to thank for that second place finish tonight?
Just as always, thanks to Amy Contractor for helping with the series. Vern, you, Macaulay, everybody that works to put it on week in and week out. Just really appreciate that, and I look forward to tomorrow night.
10-4 on that, man. I'm looking forward to it as well, and we'll see you 9 p.m.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
Chuck Sweeting, your second place finisher. Man, it was tough. 0.5 of a second. That's what it come down to. 0.58. Separating him and Richard Holland there at the end. So he was coming. There we got one more interview here. Todd Cleveland, third place finisher here tonight. And Todd, man, it was kind of a quiet night for you all night, but you were able to sneak up there in that top three and get that post-race interview.
Hey, it was pretty quiet. pretty much all I did was pace myself and follow the leader, follow whatever Richard and Chuck were doing, and go into pits when they go into pits, and that was about it. Very quiet night, just riding in
mean,
circles.
Sometimes that's how you want it. You sneak up there in the top 3. I know you you
Yep.
started back there in 11th, so you probably felt like at the start of this thing it was going to be tough to pass. Walk us through. We had the start of this thing. We had that caution there to start it out. Did that throw your strategy off, or did the guys just kind of follow suit and do what you had to do, like you said?
No, it didn't really change up my strategy or mess up my strategy. But the first run, I took it really easy, saving a lot of tire, and just realized I was saving too much tire. And then second run, come back out, run truck a little bit harder, moved my way up into, I think I was 6th or 7th at the second green flag stop, and just kept working my way forward, being patient and letting everybody else burn the tires up and keep looking forward.
That's all you can do, man. Don't look behind you. I tell you what,
That's
man,
right.
it's a great points day for you. And New Hampshire, we're watching the different lines and the different ways people were getting around this place. Riding on board with you, you're one of those guys that wasn't downshifting too often.
Not a whole lot. In the beginning of the runs, I'd leave. I would not shift to save tire. And then as the times started to fall off or equalize from shifting to not shifting, that's when I would start. So,
Yeah, no, it's just a number of different lines, and
yep,
there's more than one way to skin a cat. I think that's the figure of
right.
speech.
That's right.
But nonetheless, man, you could come home in 3rd position. Great finish for you. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out or thank for it?
I'd just like to thank all you guys, you for putting it on, and Michael and Vern and all them guys for setting it all up and running a good league. So,
Well, we appreciate you, and hey, man, we're nothing without you. Remember that.
alrighty.
Well, thank you for your time, and I hope to see you tomorrow.
Yep. Thanks.
Yeah, Ty Cleveland, your 3rd place finisher. All right, your race winner, Richard Holland, able to get it done. And I tell you what, man, it's nice having 4 monitors, but when they don't work right, let's get on the front stretch. Richard Holland leads 77 laps here tonight at New Hampshire Speedway, and he gets it done. Congratulations to that driver again. We'll go through your finishing order, bring him up here on the screen. Results. Of course, race winner, Richard Holland in the 31. Chuck Sweeting's going to bring it home in 2nd. 3rd position, Todd Cleveland with 4th, Vern Bradley, who led a lot of laps here tonight. I know that guy wanted that top spot, but Dustin Germain's going to round out your top 5. Burt Wilson sneaking up there in the top 10, and man, John Sanu, he had the momentum. I thought he was going to get up there and nab that 3rd in that top 3. Ryan Beach in 8th, 11th or 9th position, the 11th car, Christopher Spencer. Dakota Floyd's going to bring out the top 10. Rounding out the rest of the field, we've got Rick Fagone, John T. Wembish, Jacob Daniels, Kyle Stewart, Troy Cook, Hal Amy, Glenn Jameson, Austin Wagner, Matt Egan, and Keaton Tripp. Actually, one more, the Ryan Herdina. I believe that car also pulling behind the wall, but tough break for some of these guys. I tell you what, that thing's not going to pass inspection, Holland. You might want to take a little bit better care of them body guys after a win like that. So congratulations to Richard Holland. I hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. If you did, like, share, and follow. Subscribe to this. Never want to miss a single race here at WFO. For everybody at WFO, myself included, Bradley Cooper, and we're signing off. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, for the Wicked Wednesday Xfinity Series here at WFO Racing Network. Until then, have a good night. Take care, everybody. Racing, it's in our blood. From the No Limits of Texas, to the high-speed banks at Daytona.
I mean, nobody's going to catch that 3-truck of Hal Amy as he takes it.
From the drop of the green flag. To green flag pit stops. It's in their DNA. We live for it. There's 7 nights in a week. And only one night matters to us. The moment to prove that we're the best. Laying down an entire season. Pushing the limits. We're made for it.
Bumper, Artie Peterson out to the lead. Glenn Jameson's pushing hard now. Garrett behind him. Top 5 could throw a blanket over it. Artie's going to drop down to the inside. 10 car's going to start pushing. These guys are getting a little dicey back in 5th and 6th place. Little contact between the 14 and the 70. 63, 3 wide in the front. Artie Peterson stuck out in the middle. Brandon Winning, we got a car down on the apron. 70 car, and now a car up in the wall. We got a wreck behind him. 1 lap to go. Rick Fagone has got the position right now. Garrett Helmlinger and Glenn Jameson neck and neck. We got a push on the inside. Push on the 10 car. Rick Fagone looks like he might pull it off neck and neck at the line, and the 10. Oh, the Garrett Helmlinger. I can't believe what I just saw. It looks like Garrett Helmlinger.
Survival of the fittest. 16 chase drivers. 1 championship. Who's got what it takes? As they give the command to start the engines, it's time to find out. WFO is live right now.
On it, but man, that's amazing. Pagone's going to bring it off the bottom, out of turn 4. Can he hold them off to the start-finish line? And I believe he's going to, Nation.